A very good afternoon. It's the 7th of July 2023. Welcome to the lunchtime news here on TV1. For the News First team, I'm Sanita Senanayaka. Before we take a look at the stories in detail, let's take a look at your headline stories. Prime Minister informs Parliament that the new Inspector General of Police will be appointed soon. 150,000 Sri Lankans have migrated for overseas employment opportunities. National Archeology Week begins today. An electric fence to the Eriava Primary School from Gammada. Now, onto those stories in detail. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena said that the country's new police chief will be appointed soon. Speaking in Parliament, the Prime Minister said that the new Inspector General of Police will be appointed without delay. He was responding to a question raised by MP Dallas Alahap Peruma. In more news, more than 12,000 complaints, including appeals received from police officers, have been piled up in the National Police Commission due to the shortage of officers.
An official attached to the National Police Commission said numerous complaints that were directed to the Public Services Commission were redirected to the NPC following the passage of the 21st Amendment to the Constitution. The official said, however, almost half of the staff serving at the National Police Commission at the time were placed on retirement, adding that at present the NPC functions were around 70 officials while it requires a minimum staff of 150 personnel. The official noted that requests were made from the Ministry of Public Administration and the Department of Management Services to recruit more officers. However, those requests have gone unanswered. It further said that among the appeals made by the police officers are transfers, promotions and appeals for permission to rejoin the police after leaving the service.
Now we're ready to toss over to our live coverage of the Cricket World Cup qualifier from Stein Studios. Today's match is between Sri Lanka and West Indies. Welcome back to the news. In more local news, the State Minister of Defence, Pramita Bandarathenakone, says the present security apparatus in the country is at a satisfactory level. He expressed these views at a press briefing in Colombo.
We
have estimated an approved cadre of 208,000 for the military. We hope to right-size that number within the next several years. We will not suspend any member from the army. We are happy regarding the present state of security in the country. It is the Tri-Forces who are protecting this country and the leader of the country is heading them. No matter who is president, we must ensure that protocol. Some factions believe that just because they post something on social media, the Tri-Forces must adhere to them. We must think twice about that narrow mindset. No matter who is in power, which party is in power, we must protect this protocol.
අපි සියලු දෙනා දිලිහිමියෙන් ආරක්ෂා කරගන්න ඕනේ කටයුත්තක් කියන එක මතක් කරනවා.
Over 150,000 Sri Lankans have left for overseas jobs this year so far.
Deputy General Manager of the Foreign Employment Bureau, Gamini Senarath Yapa, says that most of those left for overseas employment booked their flights to the Middle East. He also believes that by the end of this year, over 300,000 will leave for jobs overseas. He says that these statistics are only of those registered in the Foreign Employment Bureau.
The National Archeology Week begins today, marking the 133rd anniversary of the Department of Archeology.
This year, the theme is Archaeology Beyond the Past. Director General of Archaeology, Dr. Pradeepa Singha, said that the main session will start at 9 a.m. today and various programs have been organized at the regional offices. She said that a research session will also be held for the Archaeology Week. Dr. Singha further said that many programs have been organized for the Archaeology Week to create a dialogue between the people about the archaeological heritage and to bring it closer to the people.
In more news, the Netherlands is handing back 6 valuable artifacts it removed from Sri Lanka during the colonial period. The Director General of the Department of National Museums, Sanoja Kasturiarachi, told News First that the Dutch government announced the planned restitution of cultural objects on Thursday. One of the highlights of the looted objects being returned to Sri Lanka is the cannon of Kandy, a ceremonial weapon made of bronze, silver and gold and inlaid with rubies. The barrel is decorated with the symbols of the king of Kandy, a sun, a half moon and a Sinhalese lion. The cannon has been in the collection of the Rijsk Museum, the National Museum of Art and History, since the 1800s. The museum said it was looted by Dutch East India Company troops during a siege and plunder of Kandy in 1765. The museum's director called the decision to return the cannon and 5 other pieces a positive step in cooperation with Sri Lanka. In some regional news, many villagers in Anuradhapura face constant threat of wild elephant attacks. According to locals, there appears to be no proper solution on the part of the authorities to address this burning issue.
The concrete and wire mix fences set up around the houses in the village of Ulukkulama have been destroyed by wild elephants that enter the villages after sunset. According to the locals, after sunset, the villagers goes under a self-imposed curfew as stepping out is considered dangerous due to the threat of wild elephants. Several days ago, one person was seriously injured when attacked by a wild elephant on the main road leading to the village, and he is currently being treated at the Anuradhapura Teaching Hospital. Wild elephants has also caused considerable damage to the crops and farmlands. The local farmers claim that it is impossible to survive in such a situation given that they are already battered by the country's worst economic crisis.
Gammadda, a movement that reaches out to the forgotten masses in rural Sri Lanka, vested another completed project with the people on Friday morning. Eriava is a remote village located in Mahava in the Kurunegala district, and students from the Eriava Mahinda Primary Vidyalaya attend school in the midst of the threats posed by encroaching wild elephants. The villagers in Eriava depend on agriculture to make ends meet and to support the education of their children, while some also work as day labourers. The teachers at this school are always on high alert as wild elephants often tend to roam directly into the school grounds. A request from the villagers themselves seeking an electric fence from Gammadda. Gammadda immediately leaped into action with the assistance of Ranjan Piyasiri Dantanarayana, a retired director at Sri Lanka Customs from Ratmalana, made this request come true. Construction of this electric fence commenced on the 28th of June with the blessings of the Mahasangha and with the support of local public officials. The electric fence was built under the direct supervision of the officials from the Department of Wildlife Conservation and the Provincial Engineer's Office, and it was vested with the public on Friday. Public officials, leader of the Gammadda movement, Shivan Daniel, and Ranjan Piyasiri Dantanarayana, a retired director at Sri Lanka Customs, attended this event. In international news, Twitter is considering legal action against Meta over its fast-growing rival app, Threads.
Threads, which was launched to millions on Wednesday, is similar to Twitter and has been pitched by Meta bosses as a friendly alternative. Twitter's Elon Musk said, quote, "Competition is fine, cheating is not," end quote. But Meta denied claims in a legal letter that ex-Twitter staff helped create Threads. According to Meta, over 30 million people have signed up for the new app.
And that brings us to the end of this edition of Lunchtime News here on TV1. For the News First team, I'm Sanita Senanayak. Take care and stay safe.